Are you someone who has been trying to lose weight and you feel like you've tried everything, but you don't seem to be moving the needle in the right direction, so to speak? Well, it goes without saying there are certain foods that could be keeping you from losing weight, even though you've been counting the calories or fitting things into your macros. So today I'm going to talk about 7 different food groups that you want to slowly reduce, eventually eliminate, and substitute with its healthy counterparts. Because it's easy to say what not to eat, but when you feel deprived or restricted, it's never going to work long term. So in this video, I'm going to cover what to eliminate and then what to slowly substitute it with, so that over time, not only that your taste buds change, but you will completely change what you're eating and therefore get the results that you want, aka weight loss and better health. And if you're new to my channel, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Lex Vuko. I have been in health and fitness industry for over 20 years. I've struggled with weight a couple times in my life. I've also trained as amateur kickboxer, boxer, and bodybuilder, and everything I've learned I share with you on this channel. So let's dive right into the foods you should avoid when trying to lose weight and if you're just wanting to improve your health. Eliminate all whites: white pasta, white bread, white sugar, white rice. And here's why. These whites are really low in fiber and really high in sugars, whether they're natural or not, but they spike your insulin and then they drop it down. And we gain weight because we are spiking the insulin. So instead of pasta, if that's your favorite, I urge you to switch to gluten-free pasta. Try zucchini pasta. You can buy these little thingies where you just twist zucchini within it and it comes as pasta on the other side. Try spaghetti squash. It's called spaghetti squash for a reason. Just a note, when you're looking for gluten-free pasta, please always check the ingredients because you do want to get simplest possible ingredients. And there are many pastas nowadays made out of lentil flour, chickpea flour, which is garbanzo bean flour, and so on. So give these ones a try. And if you're still addicted to regular pasta, mix half of your favorite pasta with half of the gluten-free pasta, and then allow your taste buds to change over time. Next thing on the list on the whites is bread. So we all know bread nowadays is not what it used to be. Bread, the original bread back in the day, has like 3 ingredients: flour, water, and salt. Nowadays, if you look at the ingredients of the bread, it's hardly even bread anymore. So I urge you to try gluten-free sourdough bread. This is really good for your gut health. And of course, going gluten-free is helping getting gluten and those pesticides out of your body. You can very easily make your own at home. And really, it's not that complicated once you make it the first time, because from that first try, you'll know exactly what to add more or less of. Some other flours you can use to make bread would be garbanzo flour, tapioca flour, almond flour, and so on. There are many different flours out there that are gluten-free. Please always read the ingredients. I find that tapioca flour goes really well with any other flour because it adds that little gumminess, chewiness to it. So you don't need to use much of it, but you don't want to use it on its own. There are many different websites or YouTube videos where you can check out how to easily make your own at home, and I strongly urge you to do so. And besides bread, if you're like, well, I could live without bread, but I need my carbs, I really urge you to try things like teff or buckwheat, millet, quinoa. Those are all gluten-free grains. They all taste different and have different textures. You may like some, you may like all of them, you may not like some, but these are great additions that will not spike your insulin instantly and have you crash. Instead, because they are all a complex carbohydrate, they will gradually raise your insulin and gradually lower it down. One more key thing to avoid when it comes to whites is obviously white sugar and artificial sweeteners. We all know that sugar is bad, and I know that most sugars nowadays are not white table sugars. They are hidden, although we have artificial sweeteners showing up on the market as if they're the next best thing. If you want to use something to sweeten up your food instead, please use real monk fruit. Don't fall for the marketing. Don't fall for it when they say raw monk fruit. Read the ingredients, and monk fruit or monk fruit extract needs to be the only ingredient. The same goes for stevia. There are many things in the market that market themselves as stevia, but they are usually erythritol or dextrose or any other artificial sweetener. Please look for real stevia. or real stevia extract. If you don't mind adding some calories, please look into local honey. There are probably many people around you making honey. The local honey is fantastic for your body. Sure, it has calories, but the thing is, what you're wanting to do over time, and while you're changing these foods, your taste buds will change. You will use less and less over time. Another thing to use to sweeten up your food would be real maple syrup. Once again, not the fake stuff that's just pure sugar, but the actual real maple syrup. And the last thing that I like to use to sweeten up my food are dates. So a lot of times I make my own desserts at home, and when I mix things up with nuts and dates, it just turns out amazing. And the last thing on the whites list would be rice. Although that would be okay in moderation, it's just that generally when you buy things with rice or cook with rice, rice takes the most of our plate, and that really should not be the case. Before we get into the next one, just to quickly summarize, the easy rule to remember is to avoid whites. The next thing that you want to avoid when you're trying to lose weight and improve your health is anything with a long list of ingredients, or the ingredients that you don't know what they are or can't even read. These companies are so sneaky, and believe me, if they could use a simple word to describe something, they would. If it sounds very complex, very complicated, you don't even know what you're reading, leave it alone. If you see things like E140, what is that? Question things. So instead of using things with long lists of ingredients, start getting used to reading the ingredient list. Not the nutrition facts as much as the ingredient list. Under the whites, I already told you that when it comes to monk fruit or stevia, they're typically marketed one way on the one side, but under the ingredient list, you find out that that's not really what it is. And always look for things with shorter lists. I don't even read the lists anymore. If I see that it's this long, I'm skipping it right away. When it comes to shorter lists, it's easy to read. I know every word, and if I want to, I can take a picture of it and make it at home. If you're still watching this video, means you're getting some value out of it, so make sure you hit subscribe to get notified when the new video is coming up, because in this next segment, I'm going to be covering up a lot of things when it comes to weight loss and health, and how to actually do it properly, physically, mentally, emotionally, even spiritually. The next thing that I want you to start eliminating and avoiding and switching is healthy food bars, protein bars, or any bars for that matter. Instead, what you can do is make home your own bars. They're so simple. You get a bunch of nuts and seeds. You can add coconut oil to the mix, add your little dates or local honey, add to food processor, and you are done. Making bars at home is super simple. Not only that you'll save money and save time, but you'll have a bunch of them in your fridge or your freezer, have ready on the go anytime. And the beautiful thing is, you can make it per your taste. So if you have family members that have different tastes, you can make a part of it for each member of the family. And you don't need to eliminate the sweets. I have so many desserts that I make at home. I never feel like my sweet tooth goes unnoticed. You just gotta eat the right stuff. If you want more information on my recipe book, I have a bunch of desserts, dips, and dinners in there. I'll leave the link in the description. For most of my recipe desserts, it's like 3 to 5 ingredients, put in a food processor and done. I promise you, I'm a lazy cook, but I know how to make yummy things. Healthy cooking can be easy. Okay, the next thing you want to start slowly reducing and eventually eliminating would be any snacks, really. What used to be snacks back in the day is fruits, fruit salads, or even veggies. Understand that your taste buds will change over time, so cutting up something like a pepper or a carrot is going to finally taste sweet to you when you clear up your palate. Right now, if you're used to eating processed foods, your taste buds have been hijacked to a point where you cannot even taste real food anymore. When it comes to fruit, there's a variety of it. Pick the ones you like, make a fruit salad out of it, and there you go. If you love something like popcorn, please make sure it's not the microwavable kind, but you can actually just buy the popcorn kernels and make them at home within like 3 minutes. The next thing to avoid would be fried foods when they are fried on seed oils. And you better believe that whenever you go out there and you buy fried food, it is made on seed oil. These seed oils are creating a havoc in your body. The oils that you eat are almost even more important than sugar because they stay inside your fat cells. So what do you do instead if you like fried food? Fry food at home on something like avocado oil or grass-fed butter. You'll still get the flavor of it, you'll still get the taste of it, you won't feel deprived, and you will do good for your body. Because when you're eating the healthy fats, your body actually starts releasing the body fat because healthy fats such as avocado oil or grass-fed butter or coconut oil or olive oil, all of them help your body release the right kind of hormones in your body, reduce the inflammation, and you drop the body fat. In other words, you lose weight. By the way, are any that I have talked about so far your favorites? Let me know in the comments what is your favorite food that you feel like you cannot live without. And in turn, I'll find a healthy alternative to that food and attach the recipe to your comment. The next thing to start slowly reducing, eventually eliminating, and switching up would be juices, prepackaged teas, or any liquid calories for that matter. Again, this is where sugar gets hidden, and liquid calories are never worth it. Instead, what you can do is grab your own oranges, grapefruit, or lemon, squeeze the juice out of it, add a bit of water, a little bit of chia seed, and have that as your juice. Or you can take water, like mineral water, add fruit or lemon to it. That's going to add additional flavor. And again, we mentioned the real monk fruit or stevia, so you can add a touch of that as well. You just don't want to get used to using too much monk fruit or stevia all the time, because once again, it goes back to what you're training your taste buds to taste. So use it. You should enjoy your food, absolutely. You should enjoy your water and freshly squeezed juice, but you also want to use that in proper amounts so that you can start tasting more and more flavor of the real food. And the reason I mentioned adding chia seeds to your freshly squeezed juice is when we're squeezing the juice out of fruits, we are not getting the fiber that fruit normally has. Therefore, it can still spike our insulin and still affect us negatively. Where with chia seeds, they're full of fiber and other nutrients, which is why it's my go-to. You actually slow down the absorption of that sugar and you make it a healthier choice. The next thing you want to slowly reduce and eliminate is alcohol. If you must drink, have a glass of water first, then have your drink on choice, and then have a glass of water afterwards. This will help you stay hydrated and make your belly feel full, like you don't need another glass. Also, if you must drink, I do urge you to actually do it at selected times when you're actually enjoying it. More than 2 times a week is already too much. Make sure you're with friends and family where you actually enjoy that glass of wine or whatever it is, because if you need more than that, there's probably an underlying reason you feel like you need it. And I know that for some of you listening to this list could be all that you're eating on a daily basis. Remember, the key here is to slowly substitute, which will allow your taste buds and your brain addiction to change as well. And then know that if you pair this up with fasting, you'll get absolutely outstanding results. You will have more energy, you'll feel healthier, your gut bacteria is going to go in balance, you'll feel better overall, and then the weight can just drop off. By the way, this is how I lost 40 pounds in the past in a very easy way over 10 years ago, never to come back. And to hear about that, you can watch right here.